What's next?
So I thought we should do something that's just a complete throw together.
Yep.
So, at the end of the week when it's maybe a Sunday afternoon and you just think, what am I going to have for the kids for the rest of the week? Or you want to do some prep.
Yep.
Something like a pesto is so easy. It's so uncomplicated. You just need a blender or a food processor.
Yep.
Things, obviously, your traditional ingredients are olive oil and basil, garlic, parmesan. We're going to be using cashew nuts because
Brilliant.
That's what we had in the cupboard.
Yeah.
We've obviously got some garlic paste. We're also going to be adding some spinach because I really believe in throwing a vegetable, if you can, into any dish.
Yeah.
I don't really agree so much with hiding vegetables from children. I don't think that's necessarily the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
But things like spinach is such a brilliant vegetable. It's so good for you. And if you can pop it into something like pesto, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about you, I mean, I've seen that you've done different pestos in your book and on the app. I love the fact there aren't the rules. I mean, there are times when I've seen you be absolutely to the T. It's got to be the right measures, everything. Certainly when you want something to rise in the oven.
Yeah.
But unless it's got to rise or anything like that, it's more of let's put it in, see what happens.
Yeah, and I really believe in just throwing things together.
Yeah.
Taste it as you go. You can't really go wrong with a pesto anyway.
Yeah.
So what I suggest is we'll start with, these are actually cashew pieces, so they're already pretty broken up. I'm going to add in, I would probably suggest about 100 grams, which is about a handful.
And do you know why you should always buy your nuts in the baking aisle and not in the other aisle? Much cheaper, no VAT.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
so you buy nuts that are in a packet ready to go, you pay VAT because it's a snap ready made. Buy it in the baking aisle, no VAT, so it's always cheaper. And broken nuts, if you're going to put it in a blender, grind it anyway, buy the broken nuts because they can't sell them in the other packets, therefore they're much, much cheaper.
This was so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 250 grams, 200 grams.
Yeah.
And I think it was £2, whereas a normal packet, like 100 grams, was about £3.60.
Yeah. So buy more in
Yeah. Right, so this is going to make a bit of noise.
That's right.
So, it's breaking down. So we'll just add in all of our greens.
And there you've got spinach and basil.
Spinach basil. So I would say 2 handfuls of spinach and 1 handful of basil.
Yeah.
Approximately, you can play with this however you want. And in the end, you're going to be adding olive oil.
Yeah.
And olive oil is going to be the thing that creates that really lovely creaminess and really brings all those flavors together. We're going to add in our garlic. But as you can see, it's all combining.
Yeah.
It's about a teaspoon of garlic. And we'll add in our cheese.
Nice.
And
very Italian already.
give it a little stir. You can add sea salt to this as well, of course, and you might want to do that.
Yeah.
I normally find that things like parmesan are quite salty anyway, so you don't want to add a whole lot of added salt.
Yeah. So if you're using the cheese, probably no need to put the salt. If you're missing the cheese out this step, then maybe add a little bit of salt. And salt is not the devil that it's been made out to be. We need it for survival. For many people, too little salt is more dangerous than too much salt.
Right,
and that is the golden liquid of the Mediterranean diet.
It's incredible. I love olive oil. So this is up to you now. Like, you can add as much olive oil as you want or as little. In fact, if you didn't want to add it, if you wanted to kind of reduce the fat, then of course you could add water. But as we know, olive oil is so good for us. So add in your olive oil, and then it's up to you what consistency you want to get to. I'll make it a little bit looser than that, but as you can see, it's all come together beautifully. That is nice and thick. And it does smell delicious.
Smells delicious. So you can put that in the fridge.
Yep.
Store it because it's in olive oil, probably 4 or 5 days in the fridge.
I'd say pop it in keep your jars, pop it in a jar.
Yeah.
Pop the lid on and keep it in the fridge. And use it, for those days when you've got your kids and they've come home from school and they're really hungry and you want something that's super quick. then obviously today we're going to be using your penne pasta, which is amazing. And this takes seconds.
Right, so that's done. Over to the penne pasta. So, you've made your pesto.
We have.
In a different style. By the way, the nuts in it taste amazing.
Oh, good.
Never done that for myself, ever. We've got the Fibrehydrates, we've got the penne.
Yep.
What should we do next?
So we're going to dry fry.
Yeah.
So we've drained it off.
Yeah.
Just going to pop it straight over some heat in a frying pan.
Yeah.
I reckon about 1 minute.
Brilliant.
2 minutes.
And I'm the same. I nearly always dry fry it rather than putting in oil. You know, they have water in them. And remember, all it is water and fibre. It's the glucomannan, the konjac flour. So all fibre, all super, super good for your microbiome and your health. So, but dry fry them, and I always dry fry.
And then we're just going to add in, once that's cooked for a little bit, we'll add in a couple of tablespoons of pesto.
Yeah.
And then you've got the rest of the pesto for the rest of the week. So, you know, you could pop it in and make a low-carb sandwich, or you could make a chicken dish, chicken pesto is great. Obviously, you know, you could add chicken to this as well.
You said a low-carb sandwich. How do you do a sandwich?
Well, if you go onto the Primal Living app, there are quite a few bread recipes that I've added.
I was going to say, I could plug your bread.
Oh, right. I do make a bread in a bag.
You do, and it's awesome.
But yeah, I think, you know, this is honestly a game changer, especially if you've got diabetes, especially if you've got insulin resistance or blood sugar problems. Then, you know, this is a great alternative because it's completely zero carbs. Like, I mean, it doesn't even seem real when you say it.
It's almost like, how is it? How can this be happening?
Yeah. And so in this pesto, obviously we've got olive oil, so that's going to release the oils. Yeah. We'll just coat the pasta. We could add a couple of tablespoons of water if you wanted, or if you wanted to keep it really thick. Yeah. But I think I'm going to keep it really thick.
I suppose you could at this point add a bit more olive oil now if you wanted.
You could, yeah. And then I am going to serve it with a good grating of Parmesan. Some beef tomatoes would go beautifully with it.
Nice,
you know, really
clever.
Vibrant red colour.
Yeah.
And literally, how long has that taken us? Like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been chatting, so it's probably taken longer. But
that's a record for me and you to only talk for 2 minutes.
Yeah, there we go. Done.
Absolutely.
So we'll serve that up.
Fantastic. Put a bit on there. Like I say, some big tomatoes or even little cherry tomatoes around the outside.
I mean, that's a big portion. But
wow. Well, that's for two, isn't it? I would have thought.
I reckon. Well, depending on what you're serving it with, you could serve it with anything.
Look at that.
Nice side salad.
Fantastic.
We'll add a little bit of.
And always grate your own cheese. Don't buy it grated, because when they buy it grated, to stop it sticking when it's in the bag, they add chemicals, they add flour. Yeah. So never buy cheese already grated. Just do it yourself. That looks fabulous.
Done.